Okay, today I'm going to show you how to get a very simple setup of OpenStack running on Hyper-V on Windows Server 2016 Technical Preview 3. So I've done a clean install here of the Technical Preview. I've enabled Hyper-V. I've set up a basic virtual switch. I don't have anything else set up here. I've also created a user account for myself, Benjamin, so I'm not running as local administrator. However, I have made sure that this account is a member of the Hyper-V administrators group. Then I have downloaded the v-magine package from CloudBase. I'm going to start extracting that right now. And I've also downloaded the Windows Cloud image that they have available. It's an eval install, and we'll be using that later on. So I'm going to jump over to PowerShell so that we can kick off the installer. Almost there. Okay, all extracted. Let's throw that away and kick this off. So we want to deploy OpenStack. Yes, we do. Put in my top secret password. Try not to say the password as I'm typing it. And now I need to put in some IP address details. Now this is actually the public IP address on my network that OpenStack is going to give to virtual machines when I start them up. So it is important that this is all valid for my network. So I use DHCP at home, but what I've actually done is I've created a DHCP exclusion so that those IP addresses that I've just tapped in are not assigned to anyone. So there we go. That's all valid. Put in the password for my current account because it needs to use that. Go with the defaults. There's the summary. Let me just double check my IP addresses. That all looks correct. And now we're going to kick off the install. Now this is going to take a little while, so I'm going to be quiet. I'll actually fast forward this section of the video so you don't have to watch it all in real time. Okay, sometimes I get that error message. We can actually safely ignore that. It's 50 minutes later, and my environment should actually be all up and running right now. So let's close that window down. Go over here. Look at, here's my OpenStack controller. And this is what causes that error message on this build for some reason. The IP addresses are missing. But we should be able to work around that quite easily. If I jump in here, root, my password, I have config, and we can see, let's find IP addresses. Okay, we're at 248, 1074, 19.3. So that's the one we want. So we've got that. Now, to make my computer happy, I'm just going to turn off my proxy. Otherwise it gets all upset trying to go through my proxy. And here we have it. Let's log in. That's right, nice little error message because I haven't added this to the trusted sites and I'm running on server. So let's fix that. Security, trusted sites. Let's try that again. Much better. So here we can see that I have my Hyper-V hypervisor set up and ready to go. Now at this stage, the only image I have on here is the Ceros test image. So the final thing I want to do is I want to get a Windows image in there. Now earlier on I showed you that I'd actually downloaded the Windows Cloud image from CloudBase. So now I have to do a bit of typing. So first I'm going to create a SMB share that I can copy this into the OpenStack controller from. I'm also going to open up my firewall so that I can get to this. I want the group, I want file and printer sharing, enabled to true. That goes ahead and enables those. Now I just want to confirm which IP address I'm going to use. Okay, we're going to be using 192.168.2.36. So if I jump over here into my virtual machine that I logged into before to get its IP address, now let me just check. No, still haven't picked it up. If I reboot the controller, Hyper-V will pick up the IP addresses. But in the meantime, the first thing I need to do is I need to get into my OpenStack environment. So there we go. Now I need to mount the SMB share that I created over here. So there we go, CloudBase. I'll put in the mount directory. Username equals Benjamin. And here, unfortunately, I have to type my password out on the screen. Luckily, I knew this was going to happen, so I set my password to not be my normal password. Don't worry, that's not what I normally do. So now for a really fun, complicated command, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unzip that file that I downloaded, and I'm going to stream it straight into Glance, which is the OpenStack image management. If I can do this without a typo, I will be very happy. I'm going to set the hypervisor type to Hyper-V. Nice name for it. Double check that I typed container right. I usually get that wrong, ironically. And last, say that it is public. Otherwise I have to go change this thing later on. Let's see if I got that all right. If I got that all right, it's now going to be streaming those changes in. And we can actually check on the progress. This is actually kind of fun. If I come over here, refresh this page, you'll see, hey, we're saving the image for the Windows Server 2012 R2 eval. While that's happening, I'm going to go and set up my identity. I never like to run as admin. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to go projects. They have a demo project for the default tenant. I'm going to rename that. I always like to name it after myself. So that's now the Benjamin project. Let's go find the demo user. I'm going to rename that to Benjamin. Nice little non-administrative user. I'm also going to change the password on the demo user to my preferred password, not the one you just saw me type in. Okay, that's all been uploaded. How are we going on our image? This just takes a minute or two. We're basically copying about 8-9 gig of data into the OpenStack controller so that it can provision these virtual machines. Okay, we just did another little fast forward, but you can see that that image is now all copied in. I can log out here. I don't need to be there anymore. Let me throw that out. And now I've got the image here. It's set to public. So I'm going to sign out. I'm going to log in as my non-administrative user. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to provision one instance of that Windows Server image that I just uploaded. So Windows Server, medium, one image, boot from an image, the Windows Server image. Let's go to networking. Let's give it a private address. Let's launch it. Now this first image launch is going to take a little bit of time because we're going to copy that VHD back down to the Hyper-V server. The really neat thing about the way OpenStack's implemented with Hyper-V here is it will actually use differencing disks. So the first Windows Server deployment is going to take a little bit of time as we copy the whole VHD down, but after this first deployment, future deployments are going to be really quite quick. So I might fast forward again while we wait for this to copy down. Okay, we have Windows Server up and running now, and I'm going to be a bit mean. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out straight away, because what I actually want to show you is I want to show you how fast it is to provision new Windows Server instances now that I've got that first provision done. So let's go ahead. We're going to say I want Windows Server 2012 R2. We're going to go, but I actually want 4 of them. We're going to boot from image. I'm going to select this. This time I'm going to go with my public network. And let's launch. Let's see what happens. No, I don't want autocomplete. So this time we're using differencing disks, so these things are going to come up really quickly. Now virtual machines are getting created. If you actually bring up Hyper-V Manager, you can see all the instances spinning up here, which is pretty cool. Throw that away. Okay, and you can see OpenStack has assigned a series of IP addresses. Those virtual machines are booting right now. That's actually a sysprepped image, so they're all going through the sysprep process coming up, but they're all going to be picking up individual IP addresses. Now if we jump on the first one, 51, let's go here. You can see details about it. They all have 4 gig of RAM, 2 virtual CPUs. They all have a 40 gig disk. Something you may have noticed or may not have noticed is when you're deploying these images with OpenStack, you can actually specify different disk sizes, and OpenStack is going to take the base image that we provided and it resizes the disk and adjusts the partition appropriately. We also have a nice integrated console. So we can say, oh, it's actually already. Let's jump over here and just switch to console only mode. Yay, I can put in my password. Yay, my password's been changed. So as you can see, in about just over an hour, I've been able to get OpenStack up and running, deployed. I've got a Windows image, deployed a bunch of images, and I'm ready to go. I can now use this, I can give other people access, and I'm actually going to be playing more with this environment over the coming weeks. So thank you.